What's up, YouTube? And I'm back at you with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to do my prediction for the LSU Tigers versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Uh, Another exciting matchup. Every year, these two teams play each other really, really hard. And you got two teams that got returning quarterbacks for the team, and got some guys on both sides of the ball that's returning with them as well. So I'm going to read off the stats for the game, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm gonna start off with the LSU Tigers. Jaden Daniels uh, returns after quarterback for the LSU Tigers, and so far he has 615 yards passing on the season. He has 6 touchdowns and 1 interception, and he has a completion percentage of 65.6. So, uh, great quarterback. Like I said, still has to work on his passing. He can make some decent throws here and there, but he's not consistent, enough for me in my opinion. But he does have a running threat. He's very, very lethal with his legs. It's been plenty of times this season in these two games that they played that his legs bailed them out and got them first down. So that's one thing about him that he does have. If he doesn't see that it's there, he will take off and make a run for it and get a first down. So that what makes him so lethal. LSU also has another quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier. Um, he played some last season, specifically in the SEC championship against Georgia, and was able to put up some points. Um, he's the better passer out the two. Doesn't have the legs as Jaden Daniels, but didn't get to start this off season. Jaden Daniels did, so Jaden Daniels is the guy for the job, and like I said, definitely got to be able to pass the ball. Be more consistent in doing that, but nevertheless, a really, really good quarterback for the team. Now at running back, the leading rusher is Logan Diggs. He has 15 carries for 115 yards, and he has a touchdown. But he doesn't have the most touchdowns on the team. Jaden Daniels is actually the second leading rusher with 93 yards rushing. And like I said, just some legs, man. Just a lethal running back. Josh Williams, uh, thought I'd see more from him. I thought he would be the leading running back for LSU, but he has 87 yards on as of right now, in these two games. But Caleb Jackson, he has 62 yards and he has 2 touchdowns. And Noah Kane has 2 touchdowns with 37 yards rushing. So LSU is deep at the running back position. Got a lot of guys that can run the ball, including Jaden Daniels. So you got to be able to stop this running game for LSU. Now, at wide receiver, got some talented guys over there. Brian Thomas Jr., the leading receiver with 220 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. The go-to guy at this point for LSU. You also have Malik Neighbors, another talented guy with 154 yards receiving with a touchdown. Also have Kyron Lacey, another guy, has 98 yards receiving on season. And then, of course, Chris Hilton Jr., he has a touchdown. So this LSU wide receiver core is really, really good, as well as the running back core. LSU's offensive line has guys returning from last season as well. So didn't really play too well in their matchup against Florida State. Florida State is a really, really good team defensively and offensively. And LSU just ran into a team in Florida State that's really, really good. But LSU as a whole would like to right that wrong in this matchup against Mississippi State and prove to the world, that there's still a team to be reckoned with. And, just coming off their game against Grambling, they put up a lot of points. So expect LSU to come out swinging in this matchup against Mississippi State. Now with Mississippi State, veteran team, at quarterback, Will Rogers has 389 passing yards on the season. I mean, this guy, it seems like he's been at Mississippi State for years. Completion percentage 71.7. Really, really veteran quarterback. Probably the most veteran quarterback in the SEC right now. This guy, like I said, just got continuity. Learned a lot under Mark Leach, and now He's under new helm under Zach Arnett, former Mississippi State Bulldogs defensive coordinator. So um, Arnett is trying to change, offensive philosophy in the Mississippi State Bulldogs. They're going away from the air raid and they're going to a more running game, uh, scheme. Um, we're going to see how they do. They had a couple of games already, like I said, against they played Arizona in the last matchup. Arizona was able to put some, hang with them and put some points on the board. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, continue. But they was able to open up the run game. They did a phenomenal job. I'm going to get into that. But Will Rogers, he has 5 touchdowns on the season. Like I said, just a veteran guy at that position. Running back, Jaquavius Marks, leading the room at running back. 43 carries for 250 yards. I mean, just a beast of a player from Mississippi State. Has 3 touchdowns on the season. This dude is averaging 5.8 yards a carry. So, I mean, just a very, very good running back, And they also have, actually, the second leading rusher is Mike Wright, quarterback. He has 6 carries for 92 yards. So they got a running threat with the quarterback position. But really, Jaquavius Marks is going to be that guy to look out for. They also have Creed Whittemore at wide receiver. Uh, he has 2 carries for 57 yards. He was able to get a touchdown. So, but Jaquavius Marks is definitely the number one guy. Definitely a guy that LSU is going to have to be able to shut down. This matchup. Wide receiver. Um, they have Ledrick Griffin, 116 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. Jaquavius Marks goes out wide. I mean, just talented all the way around. Can play out wide. He has 91 yards receiving. Creed Whittemore, like I said earlier, 59 yards in a touchdown. They also have Jeffrey Pittman, running back. He has 29 yards and a touchdown. I mean, they just deep at this position. Jaden Wally, he has a touchdown. So very, very talented Mississippi State team on the offense side of the ball. I forgot to mention about LSU's defense. They have some dogs on that defensive line. They would like to get some more pressure. Started really good against Florida State in their matchup, but they kind of faltered in the end. The secondary needs work, though, in my opinion. Florida State's wide receivers were wide open for majority of the game. Big wide receivers, though, those guys were mismatches, so it's going to be tough for any team, on the back end to be able to stop those wide receivers. Major Burns for LSU on defense. Safety, he has the most tackles with 13. Actually, he's tied with Zay Alexander at cornerback, but both of those guys have 13 total tackles. Andre Sam, he has 10 tackles. And so far, LSU, a team that you're used to, being really, really good in the back end. LSU hasn't really performed these last couple of seasons. They only have 1 sack. I'm trying to look at their interceptions. They only have 2 interceptions on the team. They had to dip into the transfer portal to get some guys. Those guys are going to have to gel together and build that continuity on the back end to be able to keep up with a very, very talented team in Mississippi State. But LSU doesn't have Mason Smith. That was a huge blow for them again this season. But they still have guys like Mekhi Wingo, Braden Swinson, Jacoby and Gullery. Like, they still got guys on that D line, and those guys are gonna be really, really angry in this matchup. I feel like against Mississippi State after losing to Florida State. So, gonna be a great matchup. Now, I'm gonna give my prediction for the game. Like I said, uh, this is gonna be a good matchup. It's always is a good matchup. And they always seem to play each other early on in the season. If I had to give my prediction for this game, the team I'm picking to win this matchup is LSU. I think LSU is going to come out firing on all cylinders. think they're going to get their secondary uh, to get the gel together. And I just think overall LSU is going to be too much for Mississippi State. Mississippi State got a really, really good defense as well. And I forgot to mention Nathaniel Watson, their linebacker. He's a really, really good player for them. He has 18 total tackles. They also have linebacker in Jet Johnson. He has 2 interceptions, linebacker. So um, Mississippi State is no slouch neither on that defense. Those guys can get to you. And of course, Mississippi State had a really, really good defense the last couple of seasons with Zach Carnett being the defensive coordinator. So they're not going to take a step back defensively. But in this matchup, I trust LSU's wide receivers. I think they're going to get open against Mississippi State. I think LSU's offensive line is going to step up their game. I think they're going to be able to block uh, Mississippi State's D-line. Maybe later in the game, I think they may struggle at first, but I think they're going to pick it up. And I just think the running threat with Jaden Daniels, I think he's going to be able to save a lot of drives for them, when things break down. And that's what makes him dangerous. He may not be the best passer, but he's just good enough, I feel like, to make the passes that he needs to. And he's just sneaky. He's very thin and sneaky, and he's very, very fast. And I just don't see the Mississippi State Bulldogs, being able to hold on to LSU offense, But but on one end, Mississippi State is really, really good, too, with Will Rogers. But I just think LSU is going to come out swinging. I already took that early loss. Not a conference loss, but just taking an early loss. And I think Brian Kelly is going to have those guys ready in this matchup against Mississippi State. And not mistaken, this matchup is going to be played. Make sure. Yeah, this game is going to be played in Starkville, so it's going to be tough with those cowbells, for LSU. But I just trust LSU's team overall over Mississippi State. But I could be wrong. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And once again, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.